All right, hey, this is Act 2 of the podcast. We're getting right back into it. If you missed Act 1, go back and listen to that thing. Otherwise, this isn't going to make any sense. Okay, see ya. Schimmel I'm a little bit concerned with because one day Benny got out, and then we didn't even know it, and then he's knocking on the door with Benny, and he's a little bit of a hill jack. And he says, yeah, your dog killed one of my chickens. You're lucky I didn't shoot him. Next time, he won't be so lucky. And Pooh Bear's at the door, and she goes, what? Now, she didn't remember letting him out, but it was probably one of those moments where we lost track of the dogs. Happens all the time. I don't doubt that he was wandering the neighborhood, but I honestly don't believe that Benny, the one-eyed wonder dog, would have killed a chicken. I just can't see it happening. He is so clumsy that I just don't see it. But so her and I are looking at each other, and I go, well, we got to hope that this chicken is okay. Because he might crack, Schimmel might crack if this happens, if the thing dies. So about half an hour later, we check under the bush, and there's the chicken still under there. But he's alive. And he doesn't have any visible injuries. He's not bleeding or anything. It's just another day in the neighborhood. This is our neighborhood is like so active. We go back a half an hour later. The thing is gone. It has wandered away. We're like, oh, that's a good sign, right? Fucking thing has left. So now we wait. We haven't heard anything. If Schimmel is Trump flag guy. He's neighborhood Trump flag guy. Where I live in the neighborhood, the homeowners association, I don't know if the homeowners association has rules about the flags. I don't think there are rules in the HOA. I think that you just have a better blend of people that live in the neighborhood. No one in my neighborhood, in the whole subdivision, has a Trump flag. But if you wander out of the subdivision, we are surrounded by Trump flags. Kenny says your HOA allows chickens. No, he's not in the neighborhood. He's behind the neighborhood. So, like where my cul-de-sac is, the other side of that, not HOA. That's the hard living line. But this isn't really a hard living line area, but you can have hard living line mentality and brain power. Like these people set up targets and shoot bow and arrow all the time. And I'm just waiting for one of them to just overshoot it and me to get shot in the fucking jugular. Yankee sucks. 138 says, put up the most annoying rainbow, hate has no home here stuff and wait for the veins in his neck to burst. That's another thing about people around here. They're quick to, even if it's like mixed company, to say something attacking about someone like that, like make an insult about a gay person or something like that, not even having any idea where I stand on the issue. Or maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe that's their goal. My God. Just another day in the neighborhood. All right. Earlier in the week, it might have been yesterday, I was telling you, this might have been on Patreon even. I'm not sure. There is a sheriff in one of the communities of Florida, a county sheriff, who, where they live, there's been a trend of people making fake threats through the tip line that schools are about to be shot up. And so he's getting fed up with that. So he said, all right, from now on, and we have been catching people who are doing this. If we catch your kid doing this, I'm going to make their face visible everywhere. I'm going to make it a priority to not cover up their identity. Put them on billboards. This kid threatened the school. with their fake threat. And then he's going to do a perp walk with the kid and shoot video and release it to the media. And if he can, he's going to make sure that the parents get in trouble, and the parents are going to do a perp walk. One day has passed, and some little fucker is already in the crosshairs. I love this shit. So this is a TikTok about the first little fuck in this community to do this shit.
Middle schooler was perp walked to jail after his astonishing stash of weapons was revealed. Carlo Kingston Dorelli of Port Orange has been charged with making a written threat of a mass shooting after he threatened to shoot up either his school, Creekside Middle School, or nearby Silver Sands Middle School. Volusia County Sheriff's Office said they received a tip from other students that Dorelli showed off his collection of weapons in a FaceTime call.
Okay, now at first glance, you're thinking, look at all these weapons.
Along with a list of targets. During an ensuing search of the boy's room, authorities found a large amount of airsoft rifles, fake ammunition, swords, knives, and throwing stars.
Okay, so lethal-ish, I guess, but those aren't like, that wasn't a real pistol. Those were all airsoft, different types of airsoft guns. But he did threaten to shoot up the school.
Officials also found a paper in his room with several names that appeared to have stab marks next to them. The 11-year-old later admitted he couldn't remember if he told his friends that the airsoft rifles were not real functioning firearms. Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood vowed to hold any...
That's the guy. That's the face of a guy who will just crack a little fucker right across the face. We need more people like that. They'll include part of his speech here.
Chitwood vowed to hold any child accountable who makes fake threats to shoot up schools.
Every time we make an arrest, your kid's photo is going to be put out there. And if I could do it, I'm going to perp walk your kid so that everybody can see what your kid's up to.
Dorelli was taken into custody as deputies filmed him being handcuffed and perp.
This little dick
walked into the Volusia Family Resource Center for processing before he would be transported to the Department of Juvenile Justice.
I'd love to get to see the little fucker sit down as they lock him in. There's going to be a big blast of reality on his fucking face when that little cocksucker has that happen to him. Oh, yes. I'm all about it. This is great. Corey says he should be put in front of the whole school as well so that the entire school can laugh at him. Maureen weighs in talking about Sheriff Chris Swanson in Genesee County, Michigan. He says, my sexy Sheriff Swanson was hanging out with Governor Gretchen Whitmer yesterday. That doesn't really have anything to do with what the fuck we're talking about, but thanks. There's not enough shame walks for punishment anymore. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to do anything, but people have had it. Okay? They have had it. We need to have something happen where, like, a school that has beefed up security. Okay? Let's say you've got a school that's beefed up its security in a way that I've suggested many times on this show. I don't want to beat a dead horse. You know how I feel about these things. We need an actual video clip of where the bad guy is trying to walk into the school, and then you see his ass get fucking ruined by a wireless hole puncher. And basically, you watch him just get shot to shit right at the entrance. And you need that video to be published. You need the world to see that. Time and again. It needs. This is what's going to happen to you if you walk into our schools. You need beefed up security. You need gun control. So beef up the security, and then you cross out the Second Amendment. That needs to go away. Every student has to be taught about not bullying, and there's an incentive program in the school if you show love to other students. So you got a non-bullying atmosphere, and in the incentives, I'm going to add this to it. If you see another kid getting bullied, you get points for beating the fuck out of them. Like the students, okay, let's say one kid is bullying another kid, and another kid sees the bullying, and then he beats the shit out of him. You get points. So these are all things, day one of my presidency, that I will do. And add into the element something that the sheriff added. All part of the big picture. You're looking at a total cultural overhaul. Bullies get the shit beat out of them. Bad guys get shot at the door. And we're also wiping out guns. Chris says, post this on Facebook and you'll trigger all of Hudsonville. Megan says, do we think the kids throwing threats should go to the island, or maybe we have the island junior? No. I think they go, when they're convicted, they go into general prison population. And they have to wear shirts that say, I threatened a school. I threatened to kill kids at school. Or, make them wear a shirt with, like, saying racial shit on it. And so if he's a white guy, he goes in and he has to wear a shirt that says, I hate N-word. And then he just gets the shit kicked out of him. That's how you handle these fuckers. We got to start to really get aggressive. I mean, if people are going to get aggressive with how they shoot up the school, we got to start getting really aggressive with how we handle the school shooters. Bob says, let's start hitting the children. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess you can. That won't hurt. Yankees suck. 138 says, I must be lucky. I work at a school and I never see bullying. The kids are so accepting of each other. It's almost just as sick how nice they are, but I'm in Canada. You are? Is that Paul Bonsfield? I remember seeing the name Yankees suck over the years. I haven't heard hide nor hair. Is it Paul? I don't know. He says LOL. I haven't heard hide nor hair of Paul Bonsfield in forever, if that's the case. I don't even know if that's him. No, it's not. Well, who are you? I forget. Tell me who you are, goddammit. Maybe you want to keep your identity secret. I don't know. Send me an email. It can be between us. Corey says in middle school we had a bomb threat and they found a real bomb. Yankees Suck 138 says my name is Kevin. No more beer for Kevin. I pop in from time to time. I live on an Indian reservation in northern Ontario. You got to take a Polar Bear Express to get where I am, and then a boat or a plane. Wow, that's very interesting because I've seen that name before, Yankees Suck, but I guess we've never had this conversation, or maybe we have, and I just don't remember it. I'm always interested in where people are, and especially if it's in a place far away where I wasn't ever heard on the radio. May I ask, how did you get wind of me? I'm always curious about that, and I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here. Tyler in Grand Rapids says, Tyler K says, is that Tyler Glen territory? No, Tyler Glen territory is Manitoba, Winnipeg. Carl Network and Compound Media. But don't assume I'm a right winger. Yeah, those idiots. When I am doing the compound, not the compound shows, the Carl shows, who are these podcasts, who are these broadcasters? And whenever I say something that audience members put two and two together, that I'm not a card-carrying Republican, oh my God, they get so pissed. Oh, what are you doing? Pushing your views on us, man. I'm not pushing my view. I don't give a shit. I just say what I think. You decide what you want, and that's fine. I don't give a fuck. Oh my God. Stop it. It's like, what a bunch of pussies. Jesus Christ. Yankees sucks says I was an O&A guy for decades. Anthony concerns me with the shit he posts. I'm like, God damn it, man. Anthony's Compound Media went belly up, unfortunately. I have a theory about that. I think that if he had kept his opinions closer to his chest a little bit, closer to the vest, I think he would have had a better time keeping the relationships that people wanted to see and hear from on that show. Just my thought. I think he went so far down the rabbit hole that a lot of people that were close to him were like, oh boy, I don't know, Anthony. Bill Burr, Jimmy, people like that. I think he just went a little too hard in the paint, you know? And then he found himself, boy, now all I'm left with is this echo chamber, you know? And then I'm just speaking out of school. I don't know. All I know then is that he said that the last 2 years it hadn't been profitable. So he had to pull up stakes. Cole writes, Zane fills in for him, then he goes bankrupt. In the back of my mind, whenever I did a show on Compound, I was like, oh, God. You know, I really shouldn't be doing these shows. I should not be on this network. This is a bad thing. I should not do this. So then then I got to a point where I was so busy here. I actually said to Iraq, I go, I actually can't do it anymore. I'm just too busy. And he goes, no big deal. We're friends for life. I go, well, yes, of course. And then probably about 5-6 months later, that was that. Now Anthony still does a show, but he does it on, his name is Gavin, and I think he is like the guy who invented the Proud Boys. That's all I know. He has a bad mustache. His name is Gavin, and he invented the Proud Boys. That's where his show shows up. Yankees suck. 138 says, yeah, you were a breath of fresh air. Thank you. When that thing rolled downhill. Love you and E-Rock more than those guys. E-Rock's like salt of the earth. He's one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my life. And I think he's really funny and talented. And there is a place for him. It's just getting harder and harder for people to do anything in this industry. Frankly. Radio. I mean, I'm lucky. I'm lucky that the radio audience, enough of my radio audience, not a ton, but enough of my radio audience is here to support. And, I'm just very happy with that. So thank you. Yankees Suck 138 says, I never catch a show from September to May because I'm usually at work, but these kids got me sick, so I'm checking in. Well, that's nice. Megan had a question about Native Canadians. Canada, do you call them Native Americans? I just now realized that's probably just us. I think they're known as, do I say Inuit? Maybe not. Maybe that's just Yankees Suck says we just call them natives. The real word is indigenous. I know a guy who is native, who is indigenous. And he is Inuit. And I don't know him. I just met him several times because when he played hockey in Nashville, he got chummy with the radio station that my show was on there. So when I would go down to Nashville to visit the radio station, this guy, we would hang out with this guy. And really, really nice dude. Again, salt of the earth. One of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And his name was Jordan Tutu. And he was about 5'8" and about 211 pounds. Holy shit. What a dude. And where he's from, which I forget the community way up there that he's from, when it would come time to eat, to want to eat, they would have to go out and get their food. And so they'd go out and hunt seal. And that's what he'd eat. And when he got down to Nashville, he's like, God damn it. There's no fucking seal here. So they'd have to send it in. They'd have to buy it and have it shipped in for him to, God damn it, I need a steak. All right, let's go eat a steak. No, God damn it, I need a seal, motherfucker. That's it. None of it. None of it. That's exactly the name of it. God damn it. It's like an outpost. None of it. None of it. None of it. Didn't Tutu play for the Red Wings? Yes. And he spent a considerable amount of time with the Grand Rapids Griffins as his career was winding down. So you got this guy, and oh, fuck. What a wrecking ball this dude was. Unbelievable hip checker. Hey, it's Eric Zane here to tell you about my new favorite marketing partner, Mint Mobile. For the longest time, we've been paying way too much for our cell phone service, our plans, whatever it is, mobile device, whatever you want to call it. Every so often, they put the screws to you just a little bit at a time. You don't even notice. Next thing you know, you check out the bill. You're like, wait a minute. This is not what I decided to pay for. What has happened? Okay, forget all of that. You can skip it all right now. Everything is about to change for you. Mint Mobile is the key. With Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about gotchas ever again. That's what I'm talking about, where they slowly raise your prices that you pay. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, they mean it. Say goodbye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is premium wireless plans starting at just $15 a month. All the plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You're like, easy, tell me more. This is all you do. I did this. All my family has done this, and you should too. To get the new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/Zane. That's good anywhere. Mintmobile.com/Zane. Cut your wireless bill from whatever ridiculous amount that you're paying each month to $15 a month. Mintmobile.com/Zane. Pay attention to this legalese. $45 upfront payment. That is equivalent to the $15 a month for 3 months. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speeds slower, 40 gigs on unlimited plan. Don't even worry about that. I use that, and it's no big deal. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. He'd put you through the boards, and if you looked at him cross-eyed, he'd beat the shit out of you. I'll never forget Jordan Tutu. I know he had the thirst like your old pal EZ, and I think he beat his demons. I hope he's still successful in that fight. Yankees Suck 138 says, that's like here, I'm in Moose Factory. I've heard of Moose Factory. It's an island and one of the hardest to reach, most remote places in Canada. I love that. I need to visit you, goddammit. Moose Factory, Ontario. You got it. You must be a Leafs fan then, right? How about that team? The Leafs are one of those teams that have an unbelievable level of futility. The Leafs are becoming one of those teams that the world is starting to root for them to win a Stanley Cup because it's been such a pile of shit for so long. All right. There has been a real bit of attention drawing towards the latest baby pygmy hippo. Moo Dang. Moo Dang at the Thailand Zoo is so popular that you pay for admission and you can only look at Moo Dang for 5 minutes. Corey says, I didn't even know that these types of hippos existed until yesterday. I know exactly what you mean, but not a lot of people have heard of these things. I have, but I have actually followed various TikTok sites of pygmy hippos. And they might be one of the cutest things that have ever been on the planet. Okay? This one's name is Jessica in Nashville. Okay. No, I'm just kidding you. That's ridiculous. But that's his mommy right there. Moo Dang is a 2-month-old female pygmy hippo. My God, look at that little fucker. The mother is Jana, is 25 at the zoo, and people are like lining up. What an adorable little creature. That's the type of creature, a pygmy hippo, that, why can't... Corey says, why are you showing pictures of former Zaniacs? It's true. That's the type of animal, a pygmy hippo, that, how like at one point in time, dogs weren't domesticated animals? Well, we need to make it so that this is a domesticated animal. Gosh, is that an amazing creature? If you're listening to the audio podcast, click on the link to see an adorable baby pygmy hippo. Now, I don't know if when it grows up, it's going to be as deadly as a full-grown non-pygmy hippo, but those things are mean as fuck, and they will just swallow you whole, a hippo. Let's see. 2 months old, flood social media. The Utah Jazz basketball team included the hippo in a post about the team's home opening game. People are being encouraged to wear your blush like a baby hippo. She's drawn a huge surge to people visiting in Thailand. Look at all these people. They're like, oh, my God. It looks like they're pushing down the fence there to see her. Now, I'm just hoping that those people in Thailand are like, oh, my God, she looks delicious. Because I think Thailand's a country where they eat fucked up shit. If it's a pygmy hippo, is that just a name for a baby? Or is it actually a type of hippo? You cannot harass the hippo. Legal consequences in Thailand if you harass the hippo. Oh, yeah, they'll probably just shoot you. These behaviors are not only cruel, but they're dangerous. We must protect these animals, ensure that they have a safe and comfortable environment. Mu Deng was born July 10th, rose to fame after the zoo began posting videos of her mother Jana, and the father Tony, 25 and 24 years old. A TikTok page dedicated to the animals of the zoo with more than 2.7 million followers. It's fucking awesome. I'm doing this all wrong. If your idea to get followers on TikTok is to think that your pretty face and the words that you say, anybody's going to pay attention to it, you're fucking wrong. You either put up Taylor Swift or Pygmy Hippo. I almost said Pygmy Pippo. And you're going to be in good shape. The pig's name, which means bouncy pig, was chosen by more than 20,000 visitors for this. Mu Deng means bouncy pig. The pygmy hippo is an endangered species with only about 2,000 to 2,500 mature individuals remaining as of 2015. And I don't understand how. You know, if we can resurrect the bald eagle. Remember there was a time in the U.S. here when bald eagles were critical. Now they're like common. Why can't nations make it so that the pygmy hippo, every home should have a pygmy hippo in it, in my opinion? They are smaller than a common hippopotamus and are primarily found in West Africa in countries such as Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Ivory Coast. Yeah, I think a lot of those areas are quite lawless. And so I'm guessing there's like poachers. And I don't know why someone would want a dead pygmy hippo. Maybe they're used for something or there's value to them. I don't know. I can't figure who would want a fucking pygmy hippo pair of shoes, but maybe somebody does. Do you remember the story of who was that drug lord? Pablo Escobar. That fucker in Colombia, he imported into his compound, hippos. And then when the end came, when they finally caught up with them, and then he ended up dying in a shootout, everybody fled the property, and the hippos just kind of ran wild, and they started to multiply. And in that area, wherever that compound was, I don't know if it was Medellin or whatever, what part of Colombia, I mean, like, it's still a thing now. There's hippos all over the fucking place because of Pablo Escobar. Bob says cocaine hippos. Yeah, maybe they were brought in yes, it was because of his money. Kenny writes absolutely untrue, but I don't know what he's saying absolutely untrue to. Nick says rotisserie pygmy hippo is delicious. Corey references something I was just about to mention, Narcos. That season of Narcos that covered the hunt for Pablo Escobar was just awesome. That's one of the few shows that I ever watched. I loved that. Pooh Bear writes, make sure you drink water today. If I'm doing the podcast and I get a text from Pooh Bear, I stop what I'm doing. And that's because at the school last week, there was that threat on the school. And I'm always just every day, it's like, holy shit. And I was talking to her. I go, hey, I saw a TikTok of a school that I go, first of all, when you're in the classroom, are there windows? She says, no. I go, so bad guy can't sit in or can't look in. She goes, no. I go, I also saw a TikTok of a device where when you shut that big door, there is a device that you can grab this high tensile steel blocker that you put into the floor that acts like it prevents the door from opening. And it goes deep into the floor and it's surrounded by metal and it can't be moved. And have you ever thought about, as the school thought about installing those? She goes, we have those. I go, you do? She goes, yep. And we know what to do. When there's a lockdown, you slam the door, put the thing in, and then huddle up. Get ready to attack if the bad guy gets in. I go, that's awesome that you got that thing, because it's like, it makes like they can't even get in, you know? Bad guy's going to go to the place where there's least resistance. I said to her, I go, is there a term that's said on the PA when something bad is happening? Like, do they say, is there a code word? She said, no. They just say, we're in lockdown. And then the student, everybody knows. Everybody knows what to do. Megan says, I'm with you about this, Eric. If I get a text from my kid during the school, I want to barf. Kenny writes, my daughter told me her school started putting up window tint last week so you cannot see inside from the outside. Every school window should be like that. Oh, yeah. Again, they're doing it piecemeal. You got to go the EZ way. A little bit of J.D. Vance, because Vance has said this, and I support this. Beef up security at your schools. Like, go hard. And then the EZ influence, love buckets for the students, incentivizing anti-bullying behavior and beating the shit out of bullies. Strict laws in place to punish those who make threats. Eliminate the Second Amendment to the Constitution. This all needs to happen. That way, if something does go wrong, if all of these changes aren't effective, they can't say, well, you got to do something. I did do something, God damn it. Look at it. Megan says, did you know that when they have a fire alarm, they go into lockdown mode first? Corey says in the 50s and 60s, they practiced hiding under their desks if there was a nuclear attack. Today, we practice barricading the door if there's a shooter, as we should. Piano Finger Banger says, I think schools need those automated sentry guns like from the movie Aliens. Oh, my God. That'd be awesome. So basically, when the lockdown goes off, within a certain amount of time, the hallways will be filled with gunfire just to slaughter whoever's in the hallway. So if you don't get out of the hallway, it'll be like, oh, at top story today, a school shooter emerged, but the gun sentry alarm went off, and only 7 students innocently were brutally shot to death along with the killer. I don't know if that's going to work. Yankees suck. Kevin says, school I work at got all one-way windows this year, and now it always feels like a cloudy day. Good. All right, I am wildly behind on my amazing sponsors. So I want you to pay extra close attention. First of all, you must plan for when you take a dirt nap. You must make a plan with the attorney in charge of that. That would be Zach Marco from Estate Wise. Estate planning. Call or text 616-540-7544. When it comes to getting rid of the ugly trees, you got to call Kuiper Tree Care. Online at kuipertreecare.com. Their number is 616-828-8225. Please do that and mention me when you reach out to all of my amazing marketing partners. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. 616-532-6600. Megan and the crew, she reached out to me today. She goes, EZ, we have to get going on the Great Food Giveaway. We have to settle on a date. You're right. We will. Reach out to them. They're on 44th Street, just east of US 131. 616-532-6600. Rick from TC Paintball just got back from another paintball tournament. Congrats to everyone. TCPaintballGR.com. Book an event today. Frank Fuss, he doesn't like Taylor Swift, but what he does like is you and making sure that you get into the right insurance policy. Reach out to Frank at buyinsurancehere.com for more information. Either healthcare on the marketplace, life insurance policy, Medicare, Social Security. Frank has you covered. Berlin Raceway, monster trucks this weekend at Berlin. BerlinRaceway.com for tickets. And then that's it till the spring. Joe Martinez at A&E Heating and Cooling. You can take advantage of a free furnace tune-up and diagnostic test. All you have to do is schedule. Reach out to Joe at 616-516-8579. That's 616-516-8579. I appreciate Joe very much. And that's awesome. That's free from DTE. They have partnered with only one HVAC company, and that is A&E Heating and Cooling. So if you have not taken advantage of this in the last 2 years, you get this for free. So call and schedule today, 616-516-8579 for A&E Heating and Cooling. King's Room Barbershop. I got to get there between now and Friday to get a haircut for the big wedding that I am the officiant at for my niece. King's Room Barbershop, where guys go to get their haircuts for the last 50 years, get a haircut fit for a king. KingsRoomBarbershop.net. 3 locations, Caledonia, Northland Drive, and Wyoming at 821 36th Street. And finally today, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505. That's 231-332-6505. Get started on your mortgage today. Buy now, refinance later. That's the plan. So buy now, refinance later with the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505. Kevin writes, literally, hold on a second. Bob says, just get a couple of those Boston Dynamic dogs with a shotgun rifle, mounted it to patrol the schools. That would be interesting. I'd be freaked out. Kevin says, literally have to go pick a family member up from jail. I'll be listening. Ah, shit. That's unfortunate, Kevin. I'm sorry to hear that. Whoever it is, I hope that this gets taken care of. Probably a Dewey. He writes, fucking people. All right. Joe Martinez is not here. He was insufferable. Do I say insufferable or unsufferable? He was unsufferable today. I don't know if he's going to come back and watch this. If not, sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. We gotta just ignore him. If he starts talking Michigan shit, the only way this is going to end is if we pay him no mind. If we pay him no mind and they keep losing, then he'll actually, if they keep losing, seriously, because that would be, we don't need to say anything because Michigan's going to lose. And if he keeps if they keep losing, he won't dare show his face. He won't say a word. So that's all we got to do. That's all we have to do. No, I'm not going to block him. I love him. Are you kidding me? I don't want to do that. And besides, he's like one of my oldest sponsors of all time. I wouldn't dare do that. He just drives me cuckoo bananas with all of his Michigan talk. God damn. He says, not you, EZ. Us in the chat. Piano Finger Banker says, I actually burned all of my Michigan gear because of Joe Martinez. Oh, my God. I want to root for Michigan. I like the team. He makes it so hard. How come we all can't enjoy them? All right. Asshole of the day today. Brought to you by TC Paintball. Thank you to them. Your asshole of the day today is none other than J.D. Vance for making shit up on TV. Fuck that guy. I got nothing else. Thank you so much for being here. I'll be joining you on Patreon in a little while, so thank you for that. Have at it with the Dude Shadoway segments. There'll be more where that came from. Very soon I will have them all available for you on my Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. You can sign up for free for 7 days. Oh, my God. I'm getting the question from Bob. Is it nap time? Not yet. I don't foresee one right now. I feel pretty good, but you never know. Yesterday was bad. Oh. Okay, folks. Till next time. Love you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.